Hi everybody, Jim Rickards, Jim Rickards Winery. Today we've got Brad from Mercury Wines with us, and this month we're doing bottling. We're bottling our big reds or reserves this month. And of course, around bottling, there's always about blending. And I thought it might be fun for us to kind of talk about that a little bit.
Absolutely. We can talk about the wine itself, and then we can talk about the reasons why we blend and or what we're looking for to get out of the whole blending process.
Yeah. Okay. So what wine would you think you'd like to taste here?
I'm thinking that I want to taste my 22 Cabernet Franc, which is going to be a reserve since that's why it's still in the barrel, and give that a shot. I haven't really tasted it to where, we'll get bottled. My bottling will be in the end of the year. So I was thinking about putting it out. So I want to taste that wine and see what the Cab Franc itself is tasting like, and then start thinking about what would help improve it.
Okay. I think what I'd like to think about is our Malbec. Same reason. Mm-hmm. It is going to be actually the first time we've done a reserve Malbec.
Oh.
And so
nice.
I thought that would be fun to look at also. But also in this mixture here is sort of a challenge also in that we're doing something special.
Jim and I are going to actually put a blend together. We may come up with the exact blend right now, or this might be something that we can work on over the next week or two, but Jim and I are going to do a joint wine for the first time ever.
Yes.
Meaning we're going to use some of Jim's wine and some of my wine to come up with what we think is the best product we can make.
And also we're going to feature that wine and how we put it together at our supper club.
Yes.
That's going to be an ongoing project for us, and it is, in our case, we're recreating our Zoom dinners that we did during COVID restrictions, but this is going to be live and in person. We're doing a dinner with basically 8 courses.
Yep.
4 courses you're preparing, 4 courses I'm preparing, and then wines to match each one. Mm-hmm. To top it off, we're doing a special blend. One time in the universe, this is going to happen.
Yes, this is the exciting part. To make it even more ridiculous, our food's going to be fantastic. The pairings are going to be superb. We're going to get to learn all sorts of things about winemaking. But then we thought, let's go ahead and see if we can blend our wines together to make a one-off, 30 bottle production, and then our guests that are joining us that night get to help bottle it up.
Yeah.
So that's going to be fantastic.
Yep. So
I think I'll go get some Cabernet Franc. I'll be right back. All right, there we go. We're siphoning off, definitely thieving a lot of wine out of here. There we go. Well, the color's fantastic. There we go. Rest gets back in there. Don't forget to put your bum bat on. All right. Okay, I've got mine.
Okay.
Do you know where your barrel's at?
I do.
Okay.
I do. Conveniently located. What I want to do, in order to keep this.
Oh, that's a good idea.
Okay.
That'll be AV Cab Franc.
AVCF MR Mercury.
Perfect. I love it.
Okay.
We'll label that up.
All right. So I'm going to go over here, and actually I'm going to take mine from one of my favorite barrels ever.
What kind of barrel is that?
It is this guy right here, Demptos.
Oh, okay.
And what it is, it's a true hybrid barrel.
Okay.
Every other stave is American French, American French, American French, American French, all the way around. One head is made from French wood, and another is made from American wood.
A perfect blend.
It just brings some really interesting flavors to a lot of different wines, and it's one of them that I really like a lot. It morphs into things. Okay, so.
Oh, that's a beautiful color as well.
We won't have a problem with color, I don't think.
Not at all. This is going to be a dark wine if this ends up being the one.
Okay.
Grab that for you.
All right,
perfect.
And to say, I'm not quite as tall as you are. So working on this.
There it is. You're clear.
Yeah. Now, one thing I got to do, I have to put the bung back in again, otherwise they'll holler at me.
That's I always get in trouble for that. All right.
But we're usually pretty excited about the wine, so I wind up forgetting about putting the bung in. And that is not a good thing.
All right. So what are we going to call yours?
Okay, so let's see. Yeah, mine is MBR for reserve and JRW. How's that?
That sounds perfect.
Okay.
All right.
And there we have it.
So the first thing I like to do is just taste the wines, the base as they are, and then kind of think about them and what we want to come out of. We don't know if the Malbec's going to be the base or if the Cab Franc's going to be the base or what percentage, because we've never done this before, so we're really starting from scratch with this one, where if it's a blend we've done the last 15 years, we at least have an idea of where we're going to start. So how we start blending for the first time ever is starting with that. Do you want to start, do you want to taste the Malbec and discuss it?
Sure.
All right.
Well, actually, what have you got here?
I've got the Cab Franc. Do you want me to pour you some of that?
Yeah,
okay, let's do the Cab Franc.
Well, you have it out there, why not?
Okay. So this Cab Franc is very close to Jim's location as well. You look down on this property.
Yeah,
So-
down the hill. Yeah, actually, the person who owns the vineyard, his father was our school bus driver.
Yes. The Pagonis, and now Mike Pagoni has it as well. They're lovely people, and their grapes are fantastic as well. So, So speaking of the oak, so this is my barrels, my classic pink hoops that I'm becoming known for, and that is American oak only, medium toast. But these are the ones where they cooper the barrel over in Spain. So they harvest the wood and mill it up, and then they ship it to Spain, and then they age it on the coast of Spain in the sun, and then 2 years later they turn it into barrels.
That's Magreñán.
Yes, it is.
Oh, I love that. I really like their take on American oak. It's very subtle, and it's very European in a way.
It's much closer to a French than a classic American, I think, would be.
I prefer to think of it as if it's its own thing. I mean, not trying to compare it as an imitation of French or European wood. It's got its own deal, and I like that a lot.
Yeah, it's my favorite. And so this one goes, my Cab Franc gets it almost exclusively. And then I usually blend something that has French oak in with it, so it does end up with a little bit of an American-French blend as well.
Yeah. Lovely aromatics.
Definitely on the darker fruit profile.
Oh, yeah.
Definitely not stewed, but very ripe. Black cherry, plum. And then there's a little bit of spice on the nose.
I'm getting that classic Cab Franc thing that I tend to always get, and that's kind of almost like a green tea.
It has a little bit of green tea in there as well,
but not green in a bad sense. This is a really nice
in the positive, the spiciness of a green tea, where sometimes Cab Franc can pull up bell peppers, which is a plus and a minus in my mind. This one definitely goes.
Really nice.
It's very smooth too. Yeah,
it's very sweet. Oh my gosh, that's lovely.
So those dark fruit flavors transfer through the palate, and then go into the finish. And the finish is where I pick up the oak. So I was talking about that was a brand new barrel that went into 2 years ago, 2.5 years ago. And but I've also got that in neutral barrels as well, because I think that's got too much oak for me personally. So I can't. The next step, I might blend a little bit of lighter oak into it. Okay, so next is the Malbec. So it's right on the back of my palate.
I'm not getting a lot of oak.
Okay, all right. It was just for me. Maybe it was. What did I have? Maybe I didn't have anything really delicious for breakfast this morning.
No, I mean, I don't. What I'm saying is that I'm not saying that it's not present.
Right.
What I'm saying is that I'm not overwhelmed by it.
Yeah. Yes. It's kind
the
of
fruit component is coming out nicely.
I agree.
You know, it doesn't taste like a 2x4.
Correct. Which, that's Fortunately, neither of our styles.
Yeah.
All right. More of a brighter plum to me.
Yeah, it's a light.
A nice bright, but there's a brightness to it that I really am enjoying on the plums and cherries. And
I'm getting some floral component too.
absolutely.
You know.
What is that note?
I'm trying to think of the little blue guy, little blue flower.
Now you've stumped me. Oh my goodness.
Violet, thank you.
Definitely, yes. Oh, that blue flower. the one that's very common in our Bordeaux's.
Yeah, violet, thank you.
Yes, definitely, but not a violent violet. It's
No,
definitely
it's
a nice little subtle violet right on top of that beautiful fruit note. Mm-hmm. Oh. I like how it's riding high on the palate too,
Yeah, I'm kinda
where
surprised by it.
it's coming up on top of the palate and not necessarily over the side, but it took that fruit and really richened it up right through the mid.
Yeah.
Let me see what the finish is. And again, I'm noticing the oak, and again, all in an absolutely pleasant way. That's kind of coming around on the long finish.
One of the things that barrel does that I like about it, it gives it a coffee finish.
Is that we're picking up that coffee
I think
on
so,
the finish?
yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, versus an oaky flavor
Yeah.
is much more of a coffee.
Yeah.
That's fantastic. All right, so this is the other really nice thing is that because Jim and I make very good wines, we're starting off with a base that's fantastic. There's nothing to do to fix the base. The base is a beautiful wine, and now all we're going to do is try to enhance it. So, do we want some of the coffee to come through on the Cabernet Franc, or that's something we don't want to lose?
Well, what I propose is this. First blend, now what I want to do is do 3 blends.
Okay.
Okay? One will be 50-50,
Okay.
and one will be 75-25.
Okay.
And reverse.
And then flip them.
Yeah.
Okay, that's a fantastic idea, and that's going to give us a good idea on how these wines interact, especially the 50-50. So you're going to know if the wines fight on the 50-50, and sometimes they really enhance each other.
We'll see.
Let's find out
We'll
from
see
there.
what the deal
okay.
is.
Do you want me to make the 50-50? Since
You
that,
could do
that math is easy.
Okay.
Malbec. Go into 50.
It'll be 75.
And then we'll give them a little swirl. So we'll do 50-50 on the far left?
Yep.
Okay.
Now, next in is going to be 75% cab. Franc,
Excellent. There we go.
And
Perfect. And then, so that was 75% Cab Franc?
yep.
So how about if I do,
Right, I have the cheater one. this
okay,
month.
you go for it. There you go.
Kind of hard to see in.
It is, light's not quite good enough.
Okay, so then we have. All right. Okay. Okay. And
I'll take that for my
swirl
third.
There you are. And then from me. Okay, that ought to do it.
All right then.
All right, ladies and gentlemen.
So which way do you want to start?
I'm going to start with a 50-50. That's the way I want to do it.
I think I agree.
What I do is I like, often what I do in these blending things, I will taste, I consider this 50-50 the base wine.
Right.
All right? And then what I'm going to do is taste this back, so I have a comparison to see where we're kind of headed.
Perfect. You know what I'm noticing? I'm holding this, a foot from my nose. The aromatics are already fantastic. Wow.
You know, I'm getting a strange, not a strange, a bad thing. I'm getting a kind of more enhancing that green tea characteristic.
It is.
With those violets.
The violets are now more expressive, right? So you've got those expressive violets where the fruit is now, we were talking about the fruit before, so now you've got those beautiful aromatics laying on top of the fruit. Wow. That is, and it was evident as soon as I got my glass close to my nose. It is, that nose is fantastic. The finish is wild. That finish is unexpected. I would have never guessed that was coming out. All right, this is crazy. This is 75% Cabernet Franc.
Yep.
The nose is more closed.
Yep, it's a bigger kind of wine.
I didn't know what to expect.
I didn't either.
But we have 3 amazing wines. All of them have characteristics that I really like.
Yep.
Unbelievable to me. I've just got to talk about how the Cab Franc came up. The nose was more restrained, still beautiful. All those flavors, but very restrained. Nice flavor to the mid palate. I thought it brought out some earthy notes, some mushrooms or forest floor, and actually, as it went dark, the finish had this really wonderful brightness to it.
What I like about the Cab Franc, it has this beautiful sweet fruit component that is just brings something really tremendous to the plate.
It really does.
To me, Malbec is bringing more a floral component to it. It's helping it out a little bit, as Malbec is supposed to. That's what Malbec does for a living.
Yes, it does.
I mean, that's why you put it in, Bordeaux blends, is to bring out that aromatics of its sister, Cabernet Sauvignon.
Wow. What do you think about the one that's 75% Malbec?
Again, I didn't like it as well.
I think the aromatics didn't get to here, but they were there. So they were bigger than this one.
Yeah.
So I thought the Malbec, of course, because it was bringing all those beautiful aromatics
I
to
thought
it.
that it kind of dumbed down the Cab Franc a little bit. That sweet fruit component.
Yes. It is more of a linear wine, where I was talking about the other wine going up and down and doing different things. This one kind of rolls right in and sweeps right across the palate and then does its finish without any more exciting things coming along. It kind of tells you the story up front. Yeah. And sometimes I would like my wine to give me a story along the way.
Yeah.
So I have to agree that it's a solid wine. But then compared to these two, I gotta go back to the 50-50 blend here real fast.
I've been tasting back and forth.
It is.
And
it is.
It is by far my favorite. I have to say.
It is it's a wild wine, all in positives. If wild is every wild thing that's happening here is a positive.
I wouldn't have guessed that. I mean, I wouldn't have guessed that a straight 50-50 would do it. I was thinking more of a subtle approach to the blenders and so forth.
I've only ever had one 50-50 blend that I've ever done in 20 years. I would have put my thumbs up on that wine.
And I really like what I like about that. I like the enhanced aromatics. I like that it continues with that sweet fruit, Cab Franc characteristic.
Yep.
And between the two of them, they make a really nice long finish.
Absolutely. The Retronase, the 3-4 second, 5 second finish as you're talking, and those aromatics come back around. It's absolutely fantastic. The only thing that I would love this one to have, and I'd be fine without it because it's amazing, is I would love a little bit of the earth that's in number 2 to go into number 1. So this is where, if we were serious about making this blend perfect, maybe going into, maybe do a 60-40.
Let's try a 60-40. What do you say?
I think we would say that. And so at this point, we know that the Malbec is delish. The base Malbec is delicious, but we're going to put that one away because we're going to see if we can hone in. And so this is where the blending really is, this is where I think that we can perfect a wine. 2 wines that were fantastic can now be perfected, because if we could achieve getting a little bit of the earthy notes into this wine without affecting the beginning and the middle and the finish, right? That's the whole point of the blending, is that now we love this, but are we going to try to get one more flavor in
Well, now it's the idea. We love that 50-50 blend. How can we look at and make it better?
Yeah, this is like that last pinch. If you're tasting a dish before you serve it to your friends, that last pinch of salt, the last little grind of pepper, or whatever it happens to be, to take a dish that's perfect and just elevate it.
Okay.
In my mind, it diminished the nose a little bit.
Yes, my mind also.
So we were raving about the nose. We don't want to do that. So, but now let's see. But what if something exciting happens in the middle?
Yeah.
So let's check out the middle.
Well, wait a second. Mine's beginning to open up a little bit.
Oh well, that one did have a little more time. All right.
Yeah.
Let me warm it up
Give
just a slash.
Give it a minute.
Yeah. That was the other thing that a lot of times Jim and I will do, or I'll do, is if I come up with a blend that I think I really like, or I come up with the two blends, we'll go ahead and make another little 375, put it away for the day, and then because sometimes things can happen. And I'm really kind of pleased with the mid.
I think I would like to see maybe a 55-45 split.
Yep. I think we're that close. And
We're getting close to it.
And we've got enough. Yes, we have enough juice there. I think.
I hope so. Okay.
Oh my gosh.
Okay, so. Now this is 55% Cab Franc
Okay.
and 45% Malbec. Okay. The violets are back.
Yep, they are. Oh. Okay. Now I'm getting. We're there. We've got the nose back that we enjoyed.
Okay, how about this? This is violets grown in the forest floor.
Yes, I think so. This is. I'm really so. I can't. Gosh darn it. Holy moly.
Yeah, I like
Wow.
that. That's my best.
Here it is. This is where we did it. We got the salt and pepper just right. This wine, fine on their own, pretty darn good. That was good. That one probably didn't have the best. And we honed it now. It is all of the best characteristics of what we talked about.
Cheers, my
both
friend.
wine. Cheers. Well done. Let's do a real cheers. Yes. This is.
I think that's it. I think it's going to be 55% Cab Franc and 45% Malbec. So.
Done deal. That is
a deal.
really, really good.
And again, we'll be pouring this for our first inaugural supper club.
Yes, and everybody's going to get a bottle.
Yep, everybody's going to get a bottle, part of the deal. And perhaps taste some of the same blending wines we did.
Yeah, absolutely.
Cheers, everybody.
Cheers, everybody. That's fantastic. Well done, sir.